let's move on then to the defence, and where better to start when we're rating Liverpool's season than with the skipper, Virgil van Dijk, 49 appearances, all competitions. Chloe, how are you rating the captain out of 10 this season?
Am I allowed to give anybody a 10? This got to
This is definitely one of the technically 10 to 11. Well, 11 options if you really wanted to.
Okay. I'm probably going to give him there's going to be a lot of these from me, but a 9 is what I'm going to give him. Yeah. Let's not lie, at stages in the season I thought he was far too relaxed at times with some of his defending, but I'm so sorry, he's just lost his manager in Jurgen Klopp, who brought him to the football team. He's now taken on the main role of being, you know, the one and only captain, and yeah, an absolute man mountain, a leader, a colossal. He's been exceptional for us. I'm trying to think of individual errors, and I can't really think of many, which says everything. And I know I've got to keep it on the pitch, but just as a person off the pitch as well. I'm sorry, but it's
spent a little time in a car with him, did you?
Yeah, it was wonderful. 10 actually, it's a 10.
Andy, again, stunning footballer. We forget to say it enough, I think, because he's been so exceptional that the exceptional has become commonplace. And like Chloe is right, he has made mistakes, and I think he's probably made maybe more individual errors this season than he has done in a number of years. But equally, I also think his overall level has been as good as, if not better, this season than a lot of the seasons I've seen him play. So how are you squaring that away?
I'm going to go for 9.5. I think he's been almost peerless this season. You try and justify giving him a 10, and I suppose to give him a 10 you literally have to have made no mistakes whatsoever. And I think back to maybe the Everton game where Beto gives him a bit of a rough time on a couple of occasions, or the one where he hammers it against Quansah into the net against Chelsea, but everyone had been out, so let's give him a pass on that. He's just magnificent. You're right, we can skip past him at times because it can get boring to talk about him because you're saying the same thing every time. He's so consistent that it is his same performance every time. It's nobody got past him, nobody got in behind him. He's brilliant on the ball. His passing, the long range diagonals to Salah or to Diaz or to Gakpo are just incredible. That's one of those things. I mean, we've seen good defenders in the Premier League. We've seen out and out defenders who block things, who make tackles, who are fast. I think when Virgil's not in the team, you realise actually Konate can't play that ball 60 yards onto somebody's toe because nobody else can in the league, never mind a central defender.
20 years ago, he just wouldn't have been a centre-back. Like, and I know his physique suits all of that, like, but the further I think you go back in football, the further up the pitch he would have played because of what the skill set that he possesses. You know, like 20 years ago, he'd have probably been like a defensive midfielder, and 30 years ago, he'd have been an attacking midfielder, and 50 years ago, he'd have been the best centre forward the world's ever seen because of just everything that he's got. I mean, the one that stands to me in terms of like mistakes is maybe West Ham toward the end of the season, but then he goes and rectifies it by scoring the winning goal as well, because he's just like, right, shit, okay, we're not losing any more games of football here. I'm gonna go and make that happen. And I think there was a lot of that actually. If he did have a little bump in the road, he course corrected really quickly. So you go 9.5.
9.5. I love how he can just decide to score when he wants. It felt for that West Ham game, I'm just going to decide to score here, and it's sort of like, well, can you not do that every quarter we have? No?
That quite a bit more. The other thing I'd like to say is how I think we've mentioned it over the past couple of weeks, we lost a voice in Jurgen who kind of led his disciples, and we're his disciples. Virgil van Dijk's just gone, I'll just take that baggage for you, lads. And he's put us on his back. And we're now, we're red, and it's like, fuck, I've got to go and buy red t-shirts here. And everyone's flogged to the stadium for 6 weeks wearing red.
We don't wear red. Don't be ridiculous. And I had we saw independent merchants going, no one buys red, so we're not going to do the red thing, not do the red thing. And then Virgil goes, can everyone wear red, please? Red. Yes, Virgil, no problem, Captain. Honestly, I had to go up my loft and because I don't even like the home shirts.
Yeah.
I haven't really been into home shirts for a very long time. I always preferred the away. Yeah, so I had to go and finding ones that were old and still fitted me was another thing, Virg. I really had to plumb the depths to find something in there. So no, I agree. Yeah. I think he became. I think Jurgen, and he tried it actually right at the end of the season to try and put people right on Trent or whatever. But Virgil is the one remaining sort of connection to the fans. You know, when Jurgen said something, we all stood up and paid attention. Yeah. So yeah, Virgil took that on.
Just on the red thing, I, believe it or not, got into running at the start of the year. Obviously that didn't last, but I ordered some Hokas online, and they were the only trainers I had for a while. I went to United Away, and you know what the sort of how much Scousers judge you about your trainers. I was like, I can't wear these in the United Away, and so I had to go out and buy another pair. And I ordered them, and they were bright red and yellow, and they looked utterly ridiculous. I was wearing them into work because I have to walk into work. Didn't want to ruin my work shoes. They looked so ridiculous. Everyone was taking the mick out of me. And then Virgil comes out and says you have to wear red, and all of a sudden they're back in fashion now. I'm wearing them everywhere. So cheers, Virgil, saved me 60 quid.
Yeah, well, Virg, love a bit of that. Yeah, I'm happy for the 9.5, and I think there is a little part of me that I know there's one player in my head that I'm giving a 10 to this season without naming him because I think it's quite obvious. And
Chiesa, yes,
Chiesa is the answer, yeah. But we'll come to that in later parts of this series. But I think Virgil. I'm happy with the 9.5 on Virgil.
I'm also happy with that. I went 9 because I tried to keep it consistent with the rest of the players.
Well done. Love that. Okay. Do people agree or disagree on the Virgil thing? Should he have had a 10? Oof, big questions. I just, there's a 10 going out somewhere, so I felt like I could only one player. There are seasons where no one's come anywhere near to that, by the way, which is really, really funny.